of you can't hear me. Hopefully, it's easy to hear me. I am headed out to go get a few coronavirus and see if they need anything because I do not. Hold on, I can't even think because I'm backing up. So I am uh, in contact with a good friend who's in Washington. She's a nurse and um, I am not scared at all. I think, however, we do have to be wise because it's not a joke. It's not an exaggeration. Numbers are numbers. And the reality is, there are more cases than we realize because people are not being tested. You have to meet a certain criteria to be tested. So if you feel sick, but you haven't left the country and you go to the doctor, they may not use a test on you because they're saving them for the people that have left the country and show symptoms. So you may be walking around spreading everything without even realizing it. And obviously, I'm sure you all have heard, hopefully, you've heard the incubation can be up to 24 days, which sounds so long, but I would say between 5 and 10 days for sure. And so, if you're not showing any symptoms, you feel fine, and you're out and about, um, you can be spreading it and not realizing it. It doesn't, it's not, I think 80% of people are not having horrible symptoms. They're pretty mild. But when you take into consideration the older people that are at the most risk of it all, we want to do our part and be careful. We don't want to think, oh, since we're fine, we'll be fine, not to make that big of a deal out of it. No, we need to take care of the elderly. Um, I think it's really wise that they're closing down schools and church services and canceling things like that, because if we are proactive and we all do our part and we all work together, we really can put a stop to the spreading. It has officially hit my state. There was 9 cases 2 days ago, then it doubled overnight to 18 yesterday, and today it's only went up to 26, but there's more than that, way more than that. Number one, there's not enough tests, like I already said. Number two, sometimes the tests are not done accurately and they come back negative, and the person thinks they're free to go, and when in fact they're positive, and the following week they feel so much worse, then they test positive and they realize, oh, I was tested incorrectly. So there's so much to consider. Panic is not one of the things to consider. I think as Christians, we need to trust the Lord. He is in control. We need to be wise and discerning, and we need to do our part as good citizens, as believers, to shine in the community as submitting ourselves under the authority that is requesting that we please take whatever steps. And we need to do them. We need to not roll our eyes, think they're exaggerating, think it's silly, think, oh, how dramatic. Just do your part as a believer. Do your part in following what your authority has requested that you please do for the benefit of all of society and potentially the whole world. I mean, seriously, this is not a little tiny nothing. I think if you speak to people that are in the midst of the really, bad areas, you will see, oh, maybe, it's not that big of a deal because where I'm at, it seems normal, but it's only going to get worse. That's the reality. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. That's the reality. That is not something that should cause us to fear or to panic. Again, the Lord's in control, but we want to be well prepared and we want to be responsible and we want to be, just wise. So you're going to hear it over and over again. And I think it's super wise. Wash your hands like crazy. Stay home. Oh my goodness, stay home. I wasn't planning on going anywhere after last night. But after talking to my friend, I realized I need to stock up on medicine and I need to stock up on some more food. So I'm going to the store to get some more frozen veggies, some medicine, if I can even find it. And I'm going to get my dog's flea medication because it's starting to get hot out. And the last thing I need is for them to get fleas and then the vet be closed and us have a flea problem on top of all this. So I'm going to go do that. And yeah, Again, don't panic, just be wise. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Things I already do during flu season, but even more so. Eat right, make sure you're doing things to make sure your immune system is strong and not weak. I, you know, really care about health and nutrition, sleep enough, run errands for your family that are older than 60, reach out to church members and neighbors that are older. We need to be servants right now and take care of the elderly. That is the whole purpose of even taking all these um, steps, is to protect them. Um, Plus, just the medical um, equipment is, we don't want to get anywhere near to what Italy is experiencing right now. They have too many sick people and not enough equipment to take care of them. So they're having to choose between who's going to get the respirator, who's going to die, and who's going to live, pretty much. They're already having those conversations in the States. When and if this happens, how will we determine who gets the ventilator? How will we choose who lives, who dies? How will we choose who gets this? That they're already having those conversations. That is scary, because if we don't all do our part, it can get there. And we have more resources than anyone in the world. We have more beds than anyone in the world, hospital. But we can still, it's still not enough. So we need to care. We need to care. We need to not blow it off, brush it off like it's not important. I don't think that that would be a picture to the world of Christ, and we need to be responsible and wise. And we need to not fear, and also in the midst of all, at peace, because the Lord is in control. So I would love to hear how you guys are doing wherever you are, what you've done to prepare, and how you're feeling about it. I do have a humorous coronavirus video coming out tomorrow. And now I've been not battling, I've been debating whether I should take it down or not, whether I should post it or not. And I'm just going to go ahead and let it air. I think it's funny. It's not meant to be insensitive to what's really happening in the world. I care tremendously. I have been praying. I want to do whatever I can as a good citizen. I just, had fun making a funny video with my kids. So I really hope that people will not take offense to it and call me heartless or anything like that, because I truly care. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and let it air. And then if I get too much hate comments, then maybe I'll take it down. But just know my heart in it. Like, it's just funny. So, yeah, share your thoughts, share your preparation steps, share what you have been experiencing where you are, and be encouraged that the Lord is in control and that we have nothing to fear. So, God bless you guys.